Canelo fights the absolute correct fight that he can fight, the only correct fight that he can fight, he does have a chance, and I think he could be victorious. If he doesn't, if he doesn't fight the one way that he can only fight to win it, Terence Crawford has six ways he can win it. And my money will go on the man who has six ways to win it over the man who has one way of winning.
Roy Jones Jr. just stirred the pot in the Canelo versus Crawford debate. It's making his stance unmistakably clear. He's backing Terence Crawford. According to Roy, Crawford isn't just stepping up. He's bringing a full arsenal into the ring, while Canelo's relying on a single big shot to turn the tide. Jones didn't stop there. Drawing from his own legendary career, he compared Crawford's move up in weight to his own transition to heavyweight. Terence did like I did as a heavyweight, Roy said, pointing out that this isn't new ground. It's familiar territory for great fighters who've mastered adapting to bigger opponents. This wasn't just commentary from the sidelines. Roy was speaking from experience, tapping into the mindset of someone who's been through the fire and come out sharper. He emphasized that facing larger opponents demands more than just sizzit. It requires strategy, timing, and poise under pressure. That kind of challenge molds a fighter differently. Jones believes Crawford now carries a level of confidence and intelligence that could prove too much for Canelo. In the end, Roy made it clear, this fight won't just be about strength or skill, it'll be about who's better equipped for the moment. And in his eyes, that's Crawford.
He's been dealing with super middles and light heavyweights in training. If you can deal with him in training, you can deal with him in the fight. So the weight should not even be an issue.
Merely a viewpoint. For those who believed that size would be Canelo's trump card, it served as a caution. Roy depicted Crawford already facing out against stronger, heavier men in the gym and emerging unscathed. This implies that he won't be into the fight blind and that fight night won't be his first experience with that power. Yes. An alternative. He will arrive prepared, knowing how to neutralize such punches and how they feel. Roy simply tore up Canelo's safety net, if size was meant to be one. Abel Sanchez, a former Golovkin trainer who has spent decades shaping champions and dissecting fighters, joined the fray.
First of all, Terence Crawford is a Hall of Famer. Terence Crawford is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think that he's a great talent, but we have weight divisions for a reason. If Terence had taken maybe 2-3 years and fought 3 or 4 guys at that weight to prepare for Canelo, I think it'd be a better fight.
Sanchez single quotes his remarks struck like a silent cautionary tale. It reverberated across the combat community. It was more than simply heart or skill. It dealt with the harsh realities of preparation, timing, and weight. Every mistake could be deadly against Canelo, and there was very little room for error. It was an obvious message. If important measures were omitted on the way to this bout, Crawford's greatness might not be sufficient. And that's where the intensity increases, because there's no turning back after you've gotten caught off guard on fight night. And Abel Sanchez added his own perspective just when it appeared that the argument was resolved. His remark turned the entire conversation upside down and poured fuel to the fire.
The first 3 or 4 rounds, in my opinion, will be difficult for Canelo because of the speed. But once he assimilates the speed, I think it's a fight where, as you've seen in Canelo fights, by the 5th or 6th round, it becomes a sparring match for him. He doesn't seem to want to knock anybody out. He just wants to beat you up. So I think that the strength and the size of Canelo will take its toll on Terence in the middle of the fight, and I think Canelo cruises on to a victory.
Sanchez's viewpoint challenged the way fans were imagining the bout, striking like a well-timed counterpunch. It was more than just who landed first or who threw the fastest blows. It was about the pace, the grind, and how the flow of the fight could change in unexpected ways for Crawford. He depicted a situation in which Canelo's pressure might be too great for skill alone to overcome. It was obvious what the undertone was. This conflict may devolve into an attrition war. Abel Sanchez, however, was not finished with the work. He had one more thing to say that might alter your perspective on this clash.
Crawford is used to fighting trucks. He's fighting a semi-truck. He's fighting a big truck now. A big truck that is not so much him hitting with a good shot, is like a perfect shot on the chin. It's just him wearing you down with his size and with the Canelo likes to punch in the arms like my guys do in my gym. He spent some time in my gym, so I'm sure he picked it up there. But once he starts hitting him, it doesn't necessarily on the chin, just hitting him, he'll wear him down. And if he wears him down, Terence putting the weight on that he's put on, may not be the fastest, may not be the strongest at that weight. He had difficulties with the 154-pound champion that he beat. So at 168, he's fighting a guy that's been tested against the big names in that division.
Follow-up sounded more like a final warning than casual conversation. Sanchez was dissecting the battle as a strategist who understands how patience, size, and pressure can defeat even the best, fight or not, as a fan. He alluded to times when Canelo's style would overpower Crawford's quickness and skill. It was the sort of observation that causes you to doubt every conversation, every round, and every mental clinch. Abel Sanchez had one more card to play. Just when it appeared that the case against Crawford was already strong.
He lost against Bivol, but Bivol couldn't really hurt him with any shots. He hit him with a lot of shots. He fought my guy twice and did very well with my guy. He was a big puncher. He's beaten a lot of very good light super middleweights and in his time in the last 3 or 4 fights. So I just find it difficult to believe that Crawford can hurt him.
Quiet assurance of someone who has examined both guys in depth beyond. The highlight reels was evident in Sanchez's statements. He wasn't referring to one-punch drama or spectacular knockouts. He was referring to the kind of strength and resilience that crushes an adversary. He believed that Canelo's capacity to take criticism and keep going could make Crawford's transgression into annoyance. The actual harm may be caused by the change in momentum from round to round. Roy Jones Jr., however, had a different perspective. His opinion actually went against the grain, made a suggestion that Crawford could actually be able to accomplish what many others think is impossible.
He is, and not only to mention is he the guy that can, he's already done it. How many 2 or 3 division undisputed champions have we ever had besides Usyk is a 2 division undisputed champ? This dude is a 3 division undisputed champ already, and if he wins this, he'll be a 4 division undisputed champ. We may never see that again.
This is more than simply another well-known bout. It was an uncommon opportunity to redefine the boundaries of athletics. The typical discussions regarding weight or size classifications didn't influence him. Rather, he highlighted Crawford's distinct abilities and mindset. Those qualities, in his opinion, may shine through. Where others have faltered, Canelo's armor has succeeded. That was the kind of audacious posture that transforms pre-fight banter into actual tension. And if his predictions come to pass, boxing fans may see one of the sport's most spectacular upsets. Roy Jones Jr. then took the discussion a step further and went directly to the center of the argument.
See, people don't like to celebrate the reality when it's happening. They'll wait till the person dead and they talk about it. This man is the only 3 division undisputed champion that boxing has ever had. And are we wondering, can he step up to a task? Really? Do you know who we're talking about? I mean, I just don't get that. I don't understand how people, they discredit things so quickly.
Read more like the calculated read of an experienced fighter than it did like conjecture coming from Roy. He was discussing more than simply skill. He was discussing the unique combination of resilience, willpower, and combat intelligence required to decipher Canelo's code. Crawford wasn't entering the fight as the underdog, according to the way he presented it. But that prospect alone gives every round a thrilling edge for a fighter who has a genuine chance to change boxing history. Roy Jones Jr. wasn't done, though. He needed to drive home one more point. Pushing Crawford into a league where only the rarest fighters have ever survived was the goal this time.
I guess, a lot of times, peer pressure, social media, money, things like that distort the truth sometimes. You understand me? This man been around for the last 20 years, undefeated. You understand me? For the last 20 years, undefeated. If somebody wanted to prove this, that day was right there. Why they didn't fight him? He been undefeated for the last 20 years. I mean, right there. Only 3 division undisputed world champ. Only. You could really put him in the talk for one of the pound for pound, one of the best ever. Because whoever did that before? Nobody.
It was more than praise. It was a belief-based challenge. Roy spoke as though he had personally measured excellence and was intimately familiar with its appearance. He believed that Crawford's legacy went beyond titles. It was founded on the capacity to overcome the most difficult circumstances. When up against someone like Canelo, that kind of quality may make the difference. And if Roy's belief turns out to be correct, We may see a bout that permanently engraves Crawford's name in the annals of history. Jones Jr. stepped in with another idea that would completely alter our perception of Crawford's prospects. Only a combatant who had been there could make such a declaration.
A good big guy does beat a good bad guy, but a great little guy, does beat a great small guy, but a great small guy beats a good big guy. We might be talking about a great small guy here. We'll find out after this fight, but we might be talking about, which I think we already are, but I think we're not talking about a good small guy. I think we're talking about a great small guy. You understand me? So this great small guy, like you saw with me, a great small guy can do anything.
The combination of conviction and wisdom that comes from a career spent in the fire was evident in Roy's follow-up. His words were not only conjectural, Crawford was portrayed by him as having the uncommon ability to completely destroy the script on fight night. It served as a reminder that even the most physically formidable opponent may be defeated by talent, timing, and heart. This wasn't just tiny versus huge, in Roy's opinion. Greatness was pushing the envelope of what was conceivable. Roy Jones Jr. went one step farther by offering a viewpoint that might change how supporters view this clash. His subsequent remarks went beyond simple analysis. They were an experience-wrapped warning.
There's a lot of I don't knows about Canelo. You feel me? So I don't know if Canelo's hungry. I know Bud is hungry. Bud stays hungry. I don't know if Canelo's hungry. Bud has never got the recognition for what he deserves like Canelo has. You understand me? So Bud is still hungry for that recognition. When you're hungry like that, a determined man, it's very hard to detour. Now, like I said, because of Canelo's size and because of all his accolades, if he went out and fought the perfect fight, it's going to be hard for Bud to beat him. But if he don't, it's going to be a problem.
I don't know. I want to say Crawford, but it's like you can't sleep on Canelo either. 168. I don't. That's a 50-50 fight.